Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in. Today's episode I'm going to be going over the complete stereo system that I installed in my 66 Mustang. I'll include a honest review at the end. This is not paid endorsement. Nobody provided any of these products that I'm going to be reviewing. So you'll get a good honest opinion on all the products I installed in here. And that'll come towards the end of the video and I'll go into detail on everything I did and all the different products. And as always, if you could please like and subscribe, that really helps the channel, helps me grow the community, and helps me keep getting good content out to everybody and to all of you. And so with that, I'll start over with the head unit, which is not really a head unit, it's more of a amp Bluetooth unit. It's hidden stealth under the dash. So I'll start there and we'll go on. Okay, so let's get into it. We're here in the interior of the car, and as I mentioned in some of my earlier videos, I wanted to keep the original AM radio intact into the dash there. I didn't want to cut anything into that dash, so I wanted to keep all that looking original. And so I invested in this Velix VX502. I'm going to get the light here, see if I can get a little more illumination in here so you can see that. I've got it mounted directly under the glove compartment box right in front of the heater box, so it'll fit nice and tight in there, no problems. That is a Bluetooth amplified receiver, so it doesn't have any radio component to it. It's just going to stream off my cell phone. And it does have a USB dongle on it, so you can charge your vehicle. So I'll route that through and maybe come out of the ashtray over here. This is the wired remote for it. I'm gonna probably put a magnet behind it just to make it clip to the dash there, maybe right under the radio or something. I also do have a full console for my Mustang, so once I get that put back in, I might find a home for it down on the console or somewhere. But it's just a standard wired remote system. You can fast forward, pause, turn the volume up and down, and control that way. So that's it. It's I don't know if you can make out that model number, but it's a Velix VX-502. I'll put some more information towards the end of the video on that. And then I ran I think it's a 4-gauge wire from my battery up onto the dash, under the dash here. And I don't know if you can make that out, but I've got a splitter that'll go one fat wire into 2 smaller wires. And then I think I've ran a 8-gauge wire to the rear amp and another 10-gauge wire, I think, to this small amplifier here. This one doesn't pull a lot of amps, so I didn't require that big of a hot lead, but I do have a splitter right there that is also fused for both of the different amps that are connected to it. So that's tucked nicely under there. I'll get the new cardboard glove box installed in here next and get that all put together. The next thing I did is I got this speaker. It was originally a different set of speakers, but it did come with this ABS plastic mounting bracket to fit directly into where the original Mustang grill for the original speaker under the grill for the dash pad. So I didn't require any modifications, but the original speaker that came with it were very poor quality, and I decided to swap those out and put some kickers. So these are 3.5-inch kicker speakers mounted into this dash mounting plate. I've got some other videos on that I'll link in the description that show how I did all of that. And then I do have some door speakers that are mounted in here, and these are the original, not original, they're the custom auto sound, I believe, that I got from CJ Pony Ports. Not very high quality, but they fit perfectly. I didn't want to, again, cut into anything, so I ordered those, and those are tied into the amp. So the dash speaker and these door speakers are the front 4 channels that will run the front set of speakers for the car. And on this amplifier, I don't know if we can make it out, but it did come with some outputs that I could tie in another amplifier. So this is acting like a preamp, and then I've got RCA cable going to the back of the car that'll feed the amp, low frequency feed to the back amp, and I'll show you that next. Okay, now moving on over to the trunk. I've got a Pioneer 500 watt amplifier, and that's only feeding the two speakers that are on the tray up underneath. I don't know if you can make that out, but they're up underneath the tray up in the back of the back seat. So that 1 amp is just feeding two speakers. They're kicker 5 1/4 inch speakers. I'll show you what those look like from the top view. Okay, so there's the 5 1/4 inch kicker speakers. Window's a little bit dirty, apologize for that. But those are mounted into the rear tray. Those came out pretty nice. I painted the grills to match as close as I could to the paint on the car, so they're color matched except for the black that you can see underneath the speaker there under the grill. So those are mounted in there nice and neat and pretty. Okay, so back in the trunk again, one thing I did want to show you, I did order some of these Boom, I forget what they're called. They're from Boom Mat, the same company that makes this sound deadening material. But I basically covered up the rear magnet area of the two speakers that I installed on the rear trunk deck because there wasn't getting good reverberation, I guess. I don't know if that's the proper word, but I wasn't getting very good bass out of those 5 1/4s. Not that I wanted them to boom really hard, but it still felt like there was a lot of mid and high range, and I wasn't getting a lot of low. So I put those in there, and I'll talk about those a little bit when I review the entire system, but I did staple those up on there and cover up the underside of the speakers. Hopefully it would give a little more pressure. And then the last thing that I did is I put this Boom Mat material just on the direct portion near the amp. I didn't do the whole trunk yet, but stuff's kind of pricey, so I just did this area here. And then I also did behind the seat. I'll show you that. Okay, here's a view from the inside of the car looking with the back seat removed. The Mustangs, at least the 64.5 through 66 Mustangs that I'm aware of, have an opening behind the seat that it goes right into the trunk. There was a lot of other commenters on YouTube and other social media places that talked about blocking off that opening in the back seat there for a variety of reasons. So I had some steel shelving material that I was able to fit right in there, and it fit really nice. And then I covered that with the Boom Mat to keep it from vibrating and causing any noise. Also, in the two corners, if you have a Mustang, in the far corner on each side, there's an opening, a pretty big opening, maybe 3 or 4 inches on each side. So I covered that with the sound deadening material to keep any smells from the back, gas or exhaust, plus also to keep that rear trunk space more airtight so that it would create a little more bass effect coming out of these 6.5 inch speakers. So that came out pretty nice. I just got to put the seat back in now, and that'll hopefully turn out real nice. Okay, so for the final review of the complete system, I apologize I couldn't find my box or the original packaging for that Velux Bluetooth unit, but I'll include a picture of it in this video here. I'll pull a picture off the internet and put it in here. Okay, so all in all, all in all, I have to say I'm pretty pleased with the way everything turned out. I wanted to do everything on a little bit of a budget, so I didn't go high end on anything, although the kicker speakers aren't exactly cheap, but they're a good moderate price, and they're pretty available everywhere. You can get them at Walmart, Amazon. I got mine on Amazon, but they're available everywhere. And that Pioneer amp was a pretty good buy. I think I bought that on Amazon as well. I'll try to include a list of prices and all that, what I paid in the description. But all in all, I think it sounds pretty good. Like I said in some of my video shorts, if you go back and look at some of my other speaker sound system videos in the shorts feed on my playlist, you'll see about the dash speaker that I bought and the door speakers. They were from, I think, Custom Auto Sound, and one of those. I don't want to defame anybody, but they were just very low-end speakers. I wasn't very happy with them. That's kind of what put me onto this journey. And that's where I originally started with the dash speaker. I got these 3.5-inch kickers and decided to put those in the dash mounting bracket that came with that unit, and they fit perfect right in there. No problems, easy installation. And then I put these kickers in the back deck. I thought I had read somewhere that 5 1/4 was the original factory mounting holes up under the rear deck over there. Turns out they're for 6x9s, so that caused me a little bit of extra work to get those mounted up in there, but they went in there just fine. It looks real nice. And then I mounted the amp onto that metal plate that went behind the seat and got that all wired. Everything came out really good. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't pay attention to the RMS capacity of these speakers compared to the RMS output of this amp. So the amp's putting out a little too much for these speakers to handle, but I just got to basically control that with the volume. I just can't crank this thing really loud, which I'm not really trying to do that anyway. Just some more cruising. At my age, I'm not trying to crank the stereo hard and rattle everybody's cages next to me. So for the purposes of what I wanted, it's working out just fine. Like I said, probably if you're using this specific speaker, you could get by with maybe a 200 or 300 watt amp. It doesn't need to be that big. I got too much amp for too little speaker. But all in all, it sounds great. I'm really happy with it. One of the downsides of that Velux receiver is that there are no controls. The only thing you control is the volume. You cannot adjust the bass or the treble or anything like that. You can use the equalizer function on your cell phone to control the output a little bit from your cell phone, but that's about it. So you really, the only control you have is for volume. And if you're an audiophile and you really want to dial in your sound, you're not going to be able to do it with this setup here. So that's one of the drawbacks. But all in all, just for cruising and streaming music from your cell phone, it works great. I'm pretty happy with the project. And yeah, that's about it. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. If you want any more information on what I did, there's a series of videos, shorts, that you can look on my playlist to see how I did a lot of the stuff on the building of the speakers and the back plate on the seat and all that stuff. Oh, by the way, also the foam caps that are up under the speakers in the back deck, those are they're boom mat by Design Engineering, and they're called baffles. I don't know that it made a lot of difference. Might have made a little bit of difference, but again, I was trying to get a little more bassy feel out of these 5 1/4 speakers that I wasn't getting prior to putting the sound deadener and the rear plate, and then I put those baffles up under there. So I think in combination with all of that, it helped. So I'm getting a good balanced sound out of the system now. So yeah, I can't say whether or not they make a huge difference. Maybe 2 to 5% maybe difference if you put them on there, take them off, put them on, take them off. There's a little bit of difference, you can feel it, but it's really hard to say. But nonetheless, I spent the money on them. They weren't that expensive, and I just wanted to add every bit of opportunity I could get some good sound quality out of the system. So that is it. Again, if I could get you guys to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. If you could share this video, like this video, it helps me build the community and helps me keep getting videos out. Next up on the docket is going to be the dash pad. Now that I have the speaker and the grill and everything mounted up in the dash, new dash pad is going in. So that'll be my next video. Keep an eye out for that. And again, I appreciate everybody watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.